Welcome to another version of First and 10 with Rams football coach Brad Sherrod and Jimmy the St. Christopher. Rams blanked the ABC Buffaloes in North Crowley's Panther Stadium on Saturday, 38-0. Rams now 3-2 overall. They're 3-0, undefeated in the SAC. Rams ran up 407 yards of total offense, 269 yards on the ground. Coach, what affected the light ABC defensive line have on the game plan?
Yeah, I mean, it mattered, but they were athletic. You know, we knew they could move around and get around blocks. So I thought our offensive line did a great job of just getting on blocks and giving our running backs a chance to create. And to run for 269 yards was special. I was glad we were able to do that and set that tone and establish the running game, which I think opened up the passing game for Cole a little bit. So it was good for us to see us get on that rhythm and get some more running backs in the game to get them some more experience because we're running back by committee, and it's good to see those guys get in.
And speaking of running backs, Mark Benjamin, a big game, 119 yards, a big 73-yard touchdown run. Also, Thomas and Roberson had solid games and also picked up quite a few yards to go to that 269 on the ground. What do you think? Was this game close to the balance that you want to see offensively?
Yeah, I think it was. I was real happy with all phases of the game. The offense, defense, special teams. I think it all came together. We played on a short field most of the day because of special teams. I thought our kickoff cover team did a great job of going down and pinning them inside the 10 a few times. I thought our punt team did a great job of pinning them. And also just that one return we had. So it was a good opportunity for us to just put all three phases together. And then I thought offensively, just to be able to run it when we needed to and get the yardage that we needed. Hopefully we get back to what we were doing early in the season with UTRGV and we were able to run the ball. And I think our offensive line is starting to come together a little bit better just from moving pieces around and moving some guys around and getting the right guys in there.
And Cole Francis, your quarterback, had a nice balanced game. He had a running TD, also threw a bullet touchdown pass to Jacody Miles. Mm-hmm. How did you see Cole's performance?
I thought it was great. I thought Cole's good at managing the game and doing the right things with the ball and putting it in the right spot. And when he doesn't have anything, either throwing it away or just getting the yardage that he can get. So that's the positive about it. He's going to make good decisions. And but being able to see him play and see those receivers do some things was good for us. We still need to be a little bit more consistent with catching the football from our receivers, but just be able to have Cole run it when he can get some yards when he needs it and also be able to run it in for a touchdown.
And he spreads the ball around a lot, but how challenging is that to not have a number one receiver to go to?
I don't think it is. I think he just has confidence in all the guys that he throws. He doesn't have one set guy. Like last year, it was probably Banks and Bob. This year is a little bit more spread out. And I like that. I think, he trusts his receivers able to throw the ball to those receivers and know they're going to catch the football.
And the defense had another big game. Of course, the veterans, guys like Rogers, Ibogan, and Hill are still in there. The first-year players are standing out. Who, in your mind, is standing out amongst those first-year guys?
Well, the first-year guys, I think Jarvis Solomon is standing out, doing a great job at the corner position for us. I think Jewett Hill is our still safety. He's starting. He's doing an incredible job. Good tackler, good cover guy. So I'm really pleased with those guys starting to come on. Ryan Seymour is our outside linebacker, starting to get a lot of reps and a lot of production. So we have some young guys that are starting to play for us and do some good things for us. But we're really counting on our older guys to continue to keep leading the way, such as Daniel Ibogan and Dalen Rogers and Sir Hill to lead the way there. Then, Jordan Crawford starting to step up too and do some good things for us on the defensive line. So we need our older guys to do what they're supposed to do, is lead and set the example. And then we need our younger guys to start doing what they're doing, just play more and be more productive, and hopefully that'll help us down the road.
And Jarvis Solomon, I know you said last week that you liked the way he was playing. We gave him our Defensive Player of the Game award, whatever that's worth. But he had a good game, and he had a big pick late in that game, too. Mm-hmm. What you like about punter Tyler Strumilla?
What Tyler's a big part of flipping the field. When you have a punter that can punt it 40 yards, that helps. So I challenge the special team, including him, that, hey, when we have an opportunity to flip the field, let's flip it. And let's play on the short field most of the game, which we did. So that's big. And I think he's done a great job of punting it. And he did a great job last year, and he's continued to keep going into this year, doing a good job.
Well, the Rams will be back home, not that they weren't home last week, but back at the friendly confines of Crowley Multi-Purpose Stadium next week. Saturday, that is, a 4 o'clock start against the rival Cats from back east. We'll tell you all about the upcoming game after this word from NBT.
We are NBT Financial Bank.
We are Fort Worth.
We are Azle.
We are Burleson.
We are Hearst.
We are Willow Park. We are anywhere through the MyNBT mobile app.
We'd love for you to come bank with us. You're going to like us.
Somos NBT Financial Bank.
Somos Fort Worth.
Somos Azle.
Somos Burleson.
Somos Hearst.
Somos Willow Park.
Le invitamos a ser parte de nuestra familia bancaria.
Louisiana Christian Wildcats, they, like the Rams, are undefeated in the Sooner Athletic Conference at 3-0. They show up at Crowley ISD for a 4 p.m. kickoff on Saturday against the Rams. They beat Langston, Wayland, and OPS. So how do you see this year's version of the Wildcats?
Real talented, very physical running football team. So they do a great job on offense of making you have to defend the whole field and really making you defend the run. And it's not going to be a team that's just going to come in and run zone. They're going to come in and run some gap scheme stuff and make us fit the run up. And any misfit will lead to some long runs or possible touchdowns. So we got to do a great job of fitting the run up. Defensively, you know, they're talented, athletic, running around out there like they were last year. So they play a lot of quarters and some man concepts, and that'll give our guys a chance to have some one-on-one battles. Need to win those more than we lose. And once again, but we'll have a chance to run the football as well. So, but this is a very talented team. This will be our toughest, other than our first couple of weeks, this will be one of our toughest opponents that we'll face this year.
And the Wildcats, at the top of the offensive board, and as Coach said, have a pretty good defense. They have guys like the quarterback Bruce Perkins, running back Datlin Cunningham, wideout Omaria Davis. Team scores a lot, as Coach alluded to. How do you contain those guys?
Well, we're going to have to do a great job of tackling. And then when we are playing coverage, we need to do a great job of keeping that quarterback in the pocket. I thought last week we kind of let the quarterback get out a little bit and keep contained. If we can do those things and do a great job of tackling, we'll be fine. But those guys are special, and that's why they are good, because they have the ability to make you miss. So we need to do more, make sure that we're running to the football and game tackling those guys and not allowing them to have any yards after contact. And so far, we've been doing a good job of that. We just need to continue to do that at a better level this weekend, because these guys are very special.
And the defense, not ranked as highly as the offense is, but who do you have to keep an eye on, or who will you attack? Is there any particular person or two on defense?
No, but they do have a talented defensive lineman that's, you know, they're probably one of their best players. But I think we're going to have to take what they give us. You know, if they're going to load the box, we have to be able to throw it and catch it. You know, if they're going to play a light box, we're going to have to be able to run it. And I heard the coaches in there working on it this morning to make sure that we put ourselves in position to take advantage of what they're giving us. But then at that point, we have to execute and take advantage of it.
It's hard to believe, but at halftime, the game this Saturday will be 5.5 games. So that means we're at the halfway point of the season. What's your assessment of your 3-2 club so far?
Well, we still have a ways to go, in my opinion. I think there's some areas we're still trying to find some guys in some certain areas. I think we settled on some guys at some positions, but we're still searching and moving pieces around in some positions to get the best possible 11 out there on offense and defense. And even special teams, I think you always need to have that core group of guys that can play special teams for you. And I believe we're still trying to find those guys in those few spots. But the best thing about it is we've got good competition at those spots. So someone's going to emerge and be the best pick for us. Now, that doesn't mean that person won't play that didn't win the starting position. That person will go in and play as well. So we're still trying to find in certain spots, but we're close to getting our best 11 on offense and defense out there. Barring any injuries, you know, that always play a factor. But, you know, we're close to getting our best 11 on both sides of the ball out there.
And go back to the losses to Lindsey Wilson, Kentucky, and UTRGV, and then coming up next week, in a couple of weeks, it's Mary Hardin Baylor. But how much do those games help, especially younger players, playing, you know, tough opponents like that?
Yeah, that helps. You know, I think what it really showed our guys at the level that we wanted to be at, and how much more work, especially early in the season, that we had to do. And it was more coming together as a team, because I think the physical part of it was there. We were physical. That wasn't a piece of it. But I think the more the cohesiveness of coming together as a team and who we are and developing that needed to show, because those teams played together as a team. And I think we have grown since those 2 weeks of getting there. And like I said, I think our offensive line has come together a lot better than we were early in the season. And just having Cole in there managing it is better. And I think our receivers starting to step up and make some plays. You know, we have guys like Paul Summers who step up and start making plays. Ronnie Snyder's getting back to himself and making plays. You know, TJ Curtis is getting in there. And then we got some younger kids that are starting to step up and do some good things. But, you know, it's always hard for a freshman to play just because they hit the wall sometimes. They've been in college and learning how to manage academics and athletics, and it's not like in high school. It's a little different. So, but we're going to manage to get those guys going as well. So we're excited about seeing what they can do. And I think those games taught us like how much more work we have to do as a team, and that has helped us to this point.
It's time now for the segment we refer to as Getting to Know Coach Brad Sherrod. This week's question, I told you I had some time to think about it before. I was just springing them on you. But what's your favorite movie or TV series?
Well, my favorite movie I watched, there's a few of them, but I guess I gave you one. Mel Gibson, When We Were Soldiers. Yeah. That's a really good movie. I like watching that movie when it comes on. And then I'm a big space guy, so I've always grew up in, you know, when Star Trek was coming along. So I'm a big, you know, Star Trek guy. So but Battlestar Galactica, if you ever remember that show, was one of my favorite shows. I think Lauren Green was in that movie, that miniseries, that series. So that was one of my favorite shows to watch growing up.
Do you know how to do the, I can't do that. I can only do two of the.
I'm going to do it like this.
Good.
Is that it?
You got it. Yeah. I got my ring and my pinky are strays. Yeah. They don't want to go together.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, Coach, thanks and good luck. Practice this week. Good luck this weekend. It's at 4 p.m. kickoff Saturday at Multi-Purpose Stadium in Crowley. 4 p.m. kickoff. Rams, Louisiana Christian. Rams and the Wildcats. It'll be on ASN2, and it'll be the NAIA Game of the Week through UEN. So check it out or come out to the stadium. It's going to be a good game. Until then, for Coach Sherrod and his staff, for Kenneth Flowers, Aaron Marquardt, James McBride, and Ricky Dotson. Got to remember the athletic director. I'm the Saint, Jimmy Christopher. Till next time, see you later. Adios on First and 10. Rams up.